Fatal Fury First Contact.
I'm gonna play the trailer right here. Yeah,
I'm looking at my shelf and I'm like, I could just start like doing like prop comedy or stuff. Fatal Fury First Contact starring Terry Bogard. Or I've also been playing Cyberpunk starring Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, that's perfect.
But no, First Contact. It's exactly the game I remember. I definitely
Neo Geo Pocket.
It's Neo Geo Pocket Color, not standard.
So we've
Pocket.
had an N-Gage and a Neo Geo Pocket.
Yeah, this is the first
retro podcast.
They've put out a few of these Pocket Color games on the Switch already, but I haven't gotten any of them. Mm-hmm. This is the first time I played one of them, and actually kind of impressed with the presentation of it. If you see the video that's playing right now,
small.
Yeah, it's that small too. You can zoom in and out and everything, but it gives you a Neo Geo Pocket Color on screen.
That's so cool.
And you can cycle through all of the colors of Neo Geo Pocket Colors that they released too. Pretty cool. The one that you see on this trailer is the one that I physically owned. That exact.
Oh my god, that is so cool.
But this game,
a classic Neo Geo console, by the way. Just that would be badass.
They put out Neo Geo shit all the time.
Yep.
I mean, they put out that little arcade machine. They put out the big arcade machine this year. Mm-hmm. They put out the full, like those arcade 1-up ones. They put out a Neo Geo MVS system like that this year. Mm-hmm. Around the same time, like the same day this Xbox came out, this Neo Geo arcade came out for the same price. It's $500. And Amazon gives away Neo Geo shit all the time. It's cool to get
Twitch has so many.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So tell me, what kind of game is this? Like, first of all, it's a fighting game.
It's a Fatal Fury game. The thing about the Neo Geo Pocket Color was it was a really good fighting game machine for portable stuff. Because at the time, there wasn't really portable fighting games that were that great. Like, if you go back to the Game Boy and you pick up Mortal Kombat for the Game Boy, it's a miserable game. It doesn't play well. It looks bad. It's got all that ghosting, and it's just a bad game. The Neo Geo Pocket Color is like a much better system. The one thing that worked so well for it is it has a micro switch joystick on it. So it's actually a clicky thumbstick on this thing. So it's got a really solid feel when you're playing it, which
the actual,
so it's really good for this kind of stuff. You lose that with this translation of it because the Switch doesn't have the greatest joystick built onto the system.
Are you sure?
And you can actually use, if you're playing it in handheld mode, what you see on the screen, that Neo Geo, those buttons are pushable. You can play it using touch controls.
Cool.
So touch screen controls on.
Yeah, so it's like you can play it, which obviously do not recommend that, especially for a fighting game. But they're really solid fighting games. You can see they chibi it up a little bit. The characters have sort of a cutesy artistic slant to a lot of the popular characters. But they also, they've re-released this game a bunch of times. There are several fighting games on the Neo Geo Pocket Color that are this game. Just like,
oh really?
The one that I have physically is I have Match of the Millennium, and it plays exactly the same, except it's a tag game. But the controls are exactly the same, the visuals are exactly the same, and this is SNK. This is SNK versus Capcom.
Sure.
So, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And pretty much all fighting games, especially when it's being released by SNK, were about the same, anyways. Not 100%, but close enough. Fatal Fury and King of Fighters are really close to one another.
Sure.
So
it plays. I mean, it looks cool. How does it play?
Yeah, it's a 2-button fighter.
Yeah.
So everything's streamlined. But if you know how to play a fighting game, you can play this really easily. It's a lot of the same kinds of because the King of Fighters and Fatal Fury and those franchises all kind of play similar to like a Street Fighter game. It's a lot of like, quarter circles and half turns and things like that. So it's great. It was at its time the best like portable fighting game you could get. Like there was no competition. As time has evolved, it's not the best. Like the Switch has every Street Fighter game on it, like up to
right.
Alpha 3 or whatever. So it's not the same anymore, but it's a cool little like look into the past, and it's presented really well, and it has like the full color manual in it, which is cool, like an actual scan of the manual.
Oh, so you can actually just switch to it. That's nice.
Yeah, so like, and it's like if you push the power button that you see on the screen or the minus button, it brings up the menu where you can change the graphics. You can change like, do you want scan lines? And you always say no. And it has a rewind feature, which for a fighting game doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's there. There are some good Neo Geo games that weren't Pocket Color games, that weren't fighting games. There was a really good Sonic the Hedgehog game, which I could see you wanting to use that rewind feature on. And there was they did the same thing with like the fighting franchise, but made it a card game. And it was like a Pokemon style where like you can get the King of Fighters version or you can get the Capcom version, and it was a card battling game, and that's really good. I don't know what else they have on here. I know they have the female fighting game that they put out on the Pocket Color.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
But yeah, this one just came out, I think, today.
Yep.
As a recording, and
yep.
I mean, cool. I would highly recommend it just because it's a cool little like niche historical piece. Fatal Fury is a great franchise, and this was a great representation of that franchise from a time where this kind of thing didn't really exist. There was no quality pocket fighting game, and it still holds up really well. It still plays really well. It's really solid. It has all the problems. Like there's a lot of slowdown because I mean it's still trying to do a lot with not a lot. But that was just common for fighting games at the time, especially home console ports and things. So like you can sort of look around that. It's a neat little game. I would, definitely something to look into if you're if you're looking for a fighting game. This isn't where you want to go.
This is just more. It's more history and like.
It's nostalgia. Yeah, I mean, like because you can get the Street Fighter collection, you can get the Samurai Showdown collection, and stuff like that. But like this is for somebody like me who like remembers this stuff. it's a virtual console game, and that's what these are. They're not designed to be your. It's my new favorite game. It's designed to like preserve history, and I think Fatal Fury First Contact is sort of a decent game to have history preserved for. So yeah, it's good. I like this game. So.
Cool. Yeah, that's one of the things that I think. Just speaking of the virtual console, that's something that the reason it went away was because I think Nintendo realized they can make a lot more money letting publishers kind of do what they want with these games, do their own, because this is already costs. I think it's like $7.99 or something.
Yeah,
and it would have been like $4.99 if Nintendo kind of stuck with their pricing. But now they can do whatever they want, and in its own way, it now is. It kind of lives in its own space as a release. I do wish there was some sort of like branding rather than calling it a virtual console. Maybe it was like classic games or something. But having it as its own app, I think for that sort of history and collectors, they can update it and tweak it and add things, years down the line if they want to, which is kind of cool. So cool. All right.
Yeah.